Sulfur has a staggering amount of goodies to find when you're out on your runs. So much loot that oftentimes it can feel overwhelming with how much there really is. Especially in your first 50 to 100 hours where it feels like every run features a brand new item that you've never seen before. RNG can be so weird that someone could have 475 hours and still have yet to see a buddy sandwich spawn. It's not even supposed to be a rare drop, right? So why is it so hard for me to find a buddy sandwich? I've compiled a list of 10 items that every Sulfie should be clearing out some of their inventory to make sure they have room for, because they're just that powerful. Rarity might seem like a foreign concept in a game like Sulfur. Some people might find items frequently that other people have never seen spawn in the game. The buddy sandwich, for example. But nonetheless, there are different spawn rates for different items, and the developers have even confirmed it.
There's multiple loot tables in the game. And this is part of the sort of like global loot table, which is like pretty much every item in the game, and has a low chance of spawning.
I don't know the exact spawn rates for every item I'm about to show you. Some might be more rare than others, but they should all be very powerful, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Alright, enough of the legal mumbo jumbo. Let's get into this. Food is incredibly important in Sulfur, and unlike other games with hunger systems, this game doesn't have a hunger system. The food is just here to bring your health back up. So, shortcuts to making meals sounds pretty good, right? Cookbooks are the premier method when it comes to busting the buttons on your favorite genes by being nice and full, like the good growing boy you are. Growing. I don't know why I said it like that. Growing? What am I doing? I am going crazy. That's stupid. I followed up stupid with stupid. These suckers are rare, probably because they're so dang useful. All you gotta do when you find one is right-click it in your inventory and you learn a shit ton of new recipes, all in one go. There's multiple cookbooks, so you'll have to look for the specific ones that come from their respective areas. You might find these dropping from breakable loot or from a brown chest, but that goes for every single item in Sulfur, so that doesn't need to be said. But you can also buy them from certain vendors with a bit of luck. Stiffleg seems to be the most consistent source of cookbooks, so make sure to check in with him every time you're booling at the church. You've also got a decent chance of finding one whenever you finish a boss fight. With the number of guns too high to count for a guy like me, the best meme gun is actually a powerhouse when it comes to utility, and your silly little butt might have missed it dozens of times when shopping at a vendor. Sure, you can happen across a flicker when looting, but it's also cheap as balls when shopping from a vendor. At the same time, it's also very small, muy poquito, which is great when it comes to housing it in your inventory to use it as a pocket rocket or a nuclear option if everything else fails and you need something to save you, but its size makes it easy to miss when shopping. So you gotta make sure to get one and have it in your inventory. It's cute and useful, just like... Nah, you ain't gotta say all that. You don't have to do that. There's plenty of powerful oils in Sulfur, as gun building is the biggest, most immersive part of the game. But there's two I wanted to highlight that stick out for being insanely strong. That's right, we're 3 in and I'm already hitting you with a twofer. But for good reason. Slow Punch and Late Boom offer huge damage bonuses. 50% increase for Slow Punch and a flat rate damage buff of 30 for Late Bloom. Late Boom. I always say Late Bloom. It's Late Boom. Why can't I get that right? Even if I write it down or I'm looking right at it, I'm gonna say Late Bloom. What is wrong with me? Late Boom. All you're gonna lose is a little bit of bullet speed. Big whoop. Just be careful when you're building your gun so you don't run into the Matrix 2.0, the Matrix Revelations or whatever one of the sequels were called. These oils are incredibly easy to slip into any build and get a significant increase in damage. I'm gonna bet some of you thought I was gonna say the old infinite ammo combo here. Let's save things like that in the dunce cap for the meta video, shall we? Mysteries are everywhere in the afterlife, from strange artwork in Castle to even the vibe of the music in some areas. But there's one that's haunted the community since the beginning of early access, and I'm certain some new players probably scratch their heads until they hit brain when they find it. The Crypt Key. Some of you might not realize it, but the mystery behind this item has actually been solved. What the fuck is the Crypt Key, and why did it just start showing up?
It's always been there, I think.
Really?
It's just a rare drop, yeah. It's just a rare drop. It will have future purposes at some point.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason that sometimes these things are in there is because we sort of assumed that we would have already had that area in by now, but we don't. So it's not there yet. You can save them. They will be useful later.
I think a lot of people have, including myself.
Yeah.
See the shiny thing you can't sell? And you're like, okay, that's got to be important. Like,
Yeah. Remember, save all your flat screen TVs in your inventories. Very important.
that's got to be. The flat
That was
screens
a
and the
joke.
paintings.
Everybody, don't do that. That was a joke.
Don't do it.
You heard it right there, directly from the higher-ups. It's useless right now. But at some point, it could be very powerful depending on what it actually does. I'd recommend hoarding at least 3 Crypt Keys. From everything I learned in my interview with Perfect Random, my crackpot theory is that the Crypt Key might open up a new area or game mode, maybe like a wave survival or something, so these could be very good to have at some point. Or it could just give you like a gun or a special vendor. Who knows? We don't know yet. But a wave survival would be freaking awesome in this game, so a girl can dream, I guess. A long time ago, we had a farm, and this farm supplied us little sulfies with equipable items that would boost certain stats, or even give new mechanics. We like to call them trinkets, and oh mama, are they a nightmare to farm now. You used to have a really good chance of finding one after beating the town mini-boss, but now there's no consistent way of farming them. I'm actually currently working on a video where I document all the things I do to try to find a viable farm, but it's obviously not going super well if we're doing a top 10 list. It's not a top 10 list though, don't call it that. It's just 10 items I'm spotlighting, alright? Anyways, make sure to always pick these up, and if you're looking on more specifics about them, watch my crash course after this video. What's a one-life extraction shooter without a mulligan? Apparently not a damn thing, because Sulfur has just recently added gun insurance, and it's magnificent. One would think this little item would fit perfectly in Stiff Leg, Ralphie, or even the Hawkland salesman's inventory, but nope. You're gonna have to scrounge around to be able to find it most of the time. Of course, there have been whispers that some vendors will sell it to you. I haven't seen them personally, but I've heard that possibly the Emo Kid and Script can sell them. That cute little goblin seems to sell just about anything, so I'm not surprised that people have mentioned that they found insurance through him. Me personally, if I'm looking to find gun insurance, I run the Fortress. You've got a solid chance of finding some at the very end of the level after you take down the Wild Wild West boss. Gun insurance is very simple how it works. You put it on your gun like a weapon attachment. Once you die, your gun will come back in the mailbox. Very simple. It'll be with a whole bunch of cash too, to remind you of your mistakes. Use it to dry your tears. Gun strong. Shoot less to kill more. Chisel make gun most stronger. Guns become 12 gauge now. You can be as stupid as me and make any gun a force to be reckoned with if you churn it into a 12 gauge monster. Now you're more likely to resort to spending your entire life savings at Ralphie's to buy a chisel, but you can still occasionally find them while looting. No matter how you cop them, always make sure to save 1 or 2 12 gauge chisels for the next time you're thinking about making a man stopper. The 50 BMG is also very powerful, and all of the chisels have their purpose, but the price point for the 12 gauge chisels should show you its worth. Clothes are for wearing, so why would they put in some that have a different purpose? That would just upset our delicate ecosystem, right? Shut up, peasant. The gold crown could easily be misunderstood as an underwhelming head protector with a disabled charisma stat, but in reality, that thing is god-dang treasure loot. Speaking of which, I could have put any treasure loot in here. Most of them are inventory eaters like the famous painting, but the golden ticket, for example, sells for a small fortune. And it's also small. It's another muy poquito. It's very small. Just consider sacrificing your social status by hawking your gold crowns and even gold slippers every time you pick them up. Maybe there's a lesson in there that material goods aren't as important as hoarding a bunch of cash. I'm not philosophical enough for this. Enchantments are a core piece of building guns in this game. We spoke on oils earlier, and I may have even made a crack about making a meta video, which is a video that none of you guys want, right? None of you guys want that, right? No one could possibly want a video about the sulfur meta. That would just be ridiculous. But yeah, the Holy Fire Scroll is the undisputed meta champion when it comes to scrolls. Sure, you can make it real easy like with just an Embers and Light scroll, but you could also find one or buy one. So like, yeah, it still counts. Use the Holy Fire Scroll before it gets nerfed. She good. If you've been around a while, you should have a solid guess of what the final item in this list could be. One that haunted me for hundreds of hours, but I finally found one The Buddy Sandwich! Just kidding, the only food I would clean out my inventory for would probably be a big old pizza or a health potion or a pizza slice. You know, like one of the ones you'd find next to a dead turtle and a melee weapon. It's probably good to pick up all of that poor teenager stuff, actually. My real 10th and final item for this video is the Sulf Air. The Sulf Air dot? That's how you're gonna end this one? I find 6 of those a day! 250 hours. 250 hours without a single Sulf Air drop for your boy. Take it as an example of rarity or wacky RNG playing tricks on me and my shaky mental health. If you happen across a Sulf Air, try it on and enjoy the luxury of a double jump, making in-air combat and parkour so much more fun. Grab another and have a field day with the triple jump. Next time you're on a run, make sure to cop any of the items I showed you here today, because they all offer powerful effects and you might not get another chance to cop one soon. Obviously, these aren't the only strong and rare items in Sulfur, so please feel free to enlighten everyone in the comment section about which items are super strong and powerful to you that you barely get to see. That's how you'll earn your gold star for today. Unless you're a member, of course. They got their gold stars by throwing a little extra support towards my family and I every month. Thank you guys so much. You don't have to do that, but you do it anyways, and you're all amazing. As to the rest of yous, if you've got requests for other Sulfur videos or even other games, let me know in the comments, because I value your opinions. And I clearly don't value your time if I'm still rambling right now. Bye.